Hello, today I will tell you a special case of Phalaenopsis just to remind everyone when growing flowers. Be prepared for danger in times of peace. Insert today's theme. What about the state of this pot of Phalaenopsis itself? It doesn't seem to be a problem. Look at his root system, there is indeed some necrosis. But it is also full. If we follow his current trend, keep listening to the cognitive words, he most likely died. His leaves are still green as a whole now, just a little drooping. Remove the flower pot. We can see that he is free and has some rotten roots. Like now, we have to remove his planting material. Take a look at the specifics of the root. If you don't do anything, in the end, if all his roots are necrotic, the whole Phalaenopsis can't survive. So when it comes to growing flowers, must be prepared for danger in times of peace. Observe multiple details. You can't just look at one detail, the dark spots on this large leaf. It could be trauma. It's also possible that water stains on the leaves and then sunburns. That piece affects the appearance, just cut it off then. Start cleaning this plant material now. Take a look at a specific situation at the root. See how many healthy roots are left. You can see he has a lot of rotten roots. After peeling off the outside of that root, there is a thread in it. This is a guide pillar that we talked about the root before. And the nutrients and the water flow through that column. It's rotten. Basically, it is caused by long-term humidity. So we must pay attention to the dry humidity of your plant material. The roots have been soaked in this for a long time. In particularly humid plant material, the probability of problems is relatively high. The plants while looking at the condition of its roots. And don't forget to look at its neck. Because the root and the stem are connected. Root question: there may also be problems with the neck. So check carefully. Here is a small action I can recommend. After you remove the planting material, you hold that flower root, and then you shake this Phalaenopsis. Let's see how strong his progress is. Like this. What about the progress of his Phalaenopsis? It feels a little shaky, it's more severe. So what about progress? There could be remove problems. This plant we found a lot of bad roots in it. Only a few healthy roots. Then rinse with water. Because the root system is not good, it is recommended to clean up all the tweed above. Flower root words. Take a look at the bleeding state of his flower root. You can also cut it off if it starts to lose energy. If his bud point still has this one sprouting signs, you can keep it for the time being. It is recommended to sterilize the knives. So let's do some trimming. This root is a new root. He is in the best condition. What about the other roots? They are all a bit, and all that's left is these roots of the line. Clean it all up. What about this leaf? It's broken, can't recover now. So you can cut off the broken part. Check the other blades again. Overall, there are some wrinkles. So that's a symptom of dehydration. Because he doesn't have any good roots, so he can't absorb water and nutrients. Some novice flower friends can't tell if the plant is short of water. You are now seeing this action in our video. Flip the leaves, so he doesn't break. It means he's a little dehydrated. Then the leaves in bad condition, we can tear it like this, peeling from the neck. It's a little easier that way. And after tearing it like this, we better check his progress. If there is a black or brownish feeling inside, I think he might have a problem. These parts have to be cleaned up. So here I emphasize again, when you are cleaning the roots, be sure to check carefully a health condition of the neck. Otherwise, his health risks will always exist. Let's take a look here. There's a black hole. Let's take a look with coconuts. What's going on in this area? This place seems pretty deep. It's all black inside. I don't know if this is caused by trauma. Is it an insect infestation or a pathogen? But be sure to clean it up. If we don't find this hidden hole, then the whole progress will be rotten soon after. By that time, this Phalaenopsis is even more difficult to rescue. It should also be disinfected after cleaning. What about this dark spot just now? Cut it off too. That black hole. What about this alcohol wipes? Stuff him. The step of sterilization and disinfection is more important. Because of his progress, this wound is relatively large. This results in the distribution of his water and nutrients. The pipes are getting very small, so the state of his plants will not be very good. The pipeline to progress is gone. What about the root that absorbs water? This causes the roots to soak in water. The roots will rot. It's a vicious circle. Plants are deprived of water and nutrients, and the roots rot because of the water. The next step is to find a transparent container to do it. Oxygen with water. It is recommended to use 2 containers here. Phalaenopsis in a small transparent container. Then find a large transparent container. Large basin cover small basin. It's in the big basin and the small basin. Put about 1 centimeter deep water. The water in the small basin is to lower the roots. What about the big basin of water? Is to keep the whole environment at 1 humidity. Now is half a month after stewing. Take a look at one of its conditions. Now, you can still clearly see the big hole at that time, and it's rotten. It's not getting any worse. And here's the interesting thing. We have a little bulge here. This should be a root. The feeling of breaking out of the ground. Let's take a look at the condition of the leaves. Located in the center, we also have a young leaf growing out. These 2 points suffice it to say that this Phalaenopsis is recovering. Put it back for further maintenance, or use a bag to keep it stuffy. Look at 2 months later, one of his growth conditions. So let's take a look at this device. Temperature and humidity displayed on. And the temperature? It's 29 degrees. Close to 30 degrees. Humidity is probably a little over 60%. Let's take a look at his roots first. What about the broken progress piece? There are no growth points left. It won't grow roots either. It will not grow flower roots, and it will not grow buds. Take a look at the root that popped a dot at that time. He's grown up now. It's 4 or 5 centimeters long. You can take a look at the comparison chart. Let's take a look at the recovery of the leaves. Overall, the leaves should be said to be full. The whole thing is stronger. The wrinkles on the leaves are basically eliminated. This is because the root system starts to grow healthily. Then water and nutrients are transported to the leaves. Let's take a look at the new leaves at that time. It's 2 now. You can see these 2 leaves, one big and one small. In fact, the small one is still growing first, and then it was bigger. Flower roots that have not been cut before. No noticeable changes. He issued a new root. And the old roots are also growing. Look at this old root. The tip of the root is also growing. It should be said that the overall trend is very good. During these 2 months of maintenance and management, it's a big container over a small container. Put a little water in both large and small containers. What about this water in the container outside? It is the moisture that provides the entire conservation environment. Degree. The water in the inner bottle is for plants to absorb. So about that stew, everyone. For a week, you can open the plastic bag and stick it on. The first one is to let it breathe. The second one checks the water level inside and the state of the plant. Look at the root system of the plant. If the root system of the plant is white, then give him a little water. Remember this water, don't make progress, lest progress cause problems. There is also nutrition that everyone cares about. It's about fertilization. During these 2 months, I probably applied fertilizer twice. The fertilizer used is that kind of compound fertilizer. That is, the ratio of nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium is 20. This compound fertilizer needs to be diluted to a certain extent. Of course, if you have some homemade fertilizer or special orchid fertilizer, same effect. And now he's gone. The leaves are growing out. Basically, there is no need to use the method of stuffy nourishment. Plastic bags can be removed. We don't need the big container. As for the video of this issue, I will share it here. If you like the video we shared, welcome to follow, forward, like and comment. See you in the next video.